This is a quasi-impromptu video. Alright, what I want to talk about this time is, I have a few ideas for the Fantastic Four. I've been working on the Thing's voice and what he would sound like if I was going to portray the Thing. And so I have a line, like I do with most of the voices I do, like I do Mickey Mouse, and that's always, ha ha, oh me, oh my. And that gets me into Mickey, and then I can do anything as Mickey, ha ha, oh boy. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? For Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, it's, you forgot cute and fluffy! I do accents and all sorts of stuff, but I usually have one tagline that just brings me into the character in that voice. So for the Thing, for Benjamin Grimm, it would be, it's a Rodney Dangerfield joke, as told by Ben Grimm. Last night, my wife, she met me at the door. She was wearing a sexy negligee, yeah. She was coming home. So from there, I just stay in his voice, and then I can do Ben Grimm stuff. Now, Ben, he's got some classic lines. He's got some catchphrases that's gots to be in the movie, all right? Not only does he have this pseudo-Brooklyn accent, / Manhattan accent, / just New York in general, he's also got to have the lines that fit Ben Grimm. They got to be in the movie. One of those lines is, I'm Aunt Petunia's favorite nephew. I'm the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. And clobbering time. So, I envision a scene in particular where Thing's dealing with some thugs, some regular, my cat's being a cat, some regular style type thugs, and after he stops the thugs from committing street level style crime, he grabs one of them like this, and he's holding him up like this, and he says, and the thug says, "What are you?" "I'm Batman. What do I look like? I'm the ever-loving blue-eyed thing." Schmuck. So then you got, hey, you're looking at Aunt Petunia's favorite blue-eyed nephew. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not blue-eyed. You're looking at Aunt Petunia's favorite nephew. Eh? And then clobbering time, that can go a couple of different ways. He's got to be able to yell it, like when he's angry at whoever he's fighting, Doom or the Skrulls or Molecule Man or whatever, villain of the week. So he's got to be able to do, it's clobbering time! But he's also got to be able to do, like a subtler, like, oh, all right, Namor, it's clobbering time. Eh? So, there you go. Those are a couple of the key phrases that Ben Grimm, as Thing, would say. Even before that. As far as character studies go, he's got to be a Marine fighter pilot. The concept of Ben Grimm as anything besides a Marine fighter pilot, one of the best in the world, does not fit with the character. Ben Grimm, in the original comic back in 1960, 20 years before I was born comic, was a Marine fighter pilot in World War II, and then he became a test pilot. But he shot down plenty of planes in World War II. He is a combat veteran Marine fighter pilot. That's really got to be where you start the character from. Well, you really start the character with the fact that he ran the Yancey Street Gang. After his parents were killed from gang-related activities that they had nothing to do with, his older brother was killed because of gang-related activities that he had to do with, because his brother ran the Yancey Street Gang. Then he took it over at a very young age. and then he's eventually caught. He gets his revenge, however that works out. He gets his revenge on the guy who kills his brother. And then he's found by child services and placed with his uncle on a farm in upstate New York. I'm not making any of this up. This is straight out of the comics. So he's sent to live with his uncle in upstate New York, his Uncle Daniel. And his Uncle Daniel raises him through his teenage years, gets him back on the path of the straight and narrow. And his Uncle Daniel and his Aunt Petunia. So he really is his Aunt Petunia's favorite nephew. He's his Aunt Petunia's only nephew, but he's his Aunt... I'm Aunt Petunia's favorite nephew. Huh? Thanks, Uncle Dan. I appreciate it. And his voice can be different before he becomes Thing, like who he was before the Thing. I think the Brooklyn accent, if it's even Brooklyn or Manhattan, the New York, I don't spend enough time in New York to tell you the difference between Brooklyn and Manhattan, unfortunately, because New York is, as the Simpsons put it, New York is a hell of a town. So anyway, I don't spend enough time there to tell you the difference. And they're not the same accents they were, what is that, 60 years ago when the Thing was created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. But anyway, I think he would, after living on the farm, I think he would have repressed the accent, tried to sound more like the other kids, because he's probably getting ostracized. Being a street thug in upstate New York and farm country, living on his uncle's farm. His uncle, the former college professor who decided to become a farmer, living on his farm. That's canon too, by the way. And so he's probably repressing it there, and then once he joins the Marines as an officer, then he goes to college with, that's where he meets Reed Richards, and once he does all that, he's going on a Navy scholarship, Navy ROTC, so he's becomes a U.S. Marine Corps fighter pilot, goes off, becomes an amazing fighter pilot, and that's his backstory. And this, if I was going to put it in the MCU, that is the backstory I would use, and go from there. So, and to have him run into, he's not War Machine anymore, Iron Patriot, Don Cheadle's character, originally Terrence Howard's character. I want to say Terrence Stamp. That was Jor-El in Smallville, and Zod in Superman 2. Anyway, sorry, Zod. Kneel before Zod. That's nothing like how Terrence Stamp said it. Kneel before Zod. Something like that. Anyway, so that's the basic backstory. When he runs into Don Cheadle, Iron Patriot. When he runs into Iron Patriot, I can definitely just see Iron Patriot going, you jarhead, you leatherneck, a devil dog, every, Marine insult in the book, but it's not really an insult to a Marine. You can call a Marine anything. They don't get offended by anything. I mean, anything. They've been assaulted by the best in the world, and if you don't believe me, go to Paris Island and talk to some of those guys. Talk to some of those instructors. They're the best insulters in the world. Your pride is left in boot camp. Anyway, so Don Cheadle's character there, Iron Patriot. Why can't I remember the character's real name? I don't know. It's not coming to me right now. It's probably why it's an impromptu video. If this was real life, I just turn this Google box I'm recording on to the side and look it up on Google. Anyway, so he runs into Iron Patriot, whenever they start arguing, because Thing argues with everybody. Whenever they start arguing, I see Iron Patriot as calling him Devil Dog and Leatherneck and Jarhead, and, just going at him with all the Marine insults. And Ben Grimm just replies the way any Marine in the world would reply. He'd just go, whatever, Air Force. Yeah, whatever, Air Force. Keep talking, Air Force. Hey, why are you out of the swimming pool? Aren't you in the Air Force? horrible, horrible intermilitary jokes. But I could definitely see that working very well with audiences, get that out there. And the two of them just going back and forth. Obviously, a lot of mutual respect between the two of them, but there's always that. Whenever you're dealing with Thing, because so to really get inside Thing's head, you have to realize that he has gone from being an above-average human being who has total control over his life, who has seen combat, he has killed before, but it's always been in the name of war. He's not out there killing innocents or anything like that. He's, a fighter, much like Captain America or Thor from the MCU. Yeah. But now he's just suddenly become the strongest person in the MCU. Now you can say it's Hulk and you can say it's Thing. I would say the two of them are right at the same strength level. We see it throughout the comics. They're evenly matched. Hulk tends to win because the Thing is trying not to hurt him. And Ben is trying very hard to just stop him while the Hulk just rages and hits him. And, and the Thing, only whenever the Thing and the Hulk fight, and the Hulk wins most of the time, the Thing is always distracted when the Hulk gets in his final series of attacks. It's very interesting the way, this is going all the way back to Jack and Stan. When they wrote these, they wrote a couple of them. The Thing only loses when he gets distracted because something else is happening outside of the fight, and the Thing is not treating the Hulk the same way the Hulk is treating the Thing. The Thing is trying to stop him. The Hulk is trying to beat the Thing. Yeah. So, Kevin Feige, Feige. I have to look up how to pronounce that. I apologize. If anybody knows him, feel free to pass this on. Send the link. I have plenty of ideas for the other Fantastic Four members. It's not just the Thing. It actually has to focus on all four of them. All four of them have to have a storyline. And yeah, so I might go into some more of this. Stop messaging me right now. I told you I'm doing this video. But anyway, that doesn't matter. That's 3 dings so far. If you're counting along at home, because I'm seeing it on the screen. Yeah, 13 minutes, 3 messages. I told you I was going to be busy. That's fine. I should probably leave you a song. I've been hanging around this town corner. I've been hanging around this town way too long. So yeah, feel free to pass this along to anybody in the MCU, anybody over at Marvel Studios, and have a great day. I don't know why I'm looking this way when the monitor on the camera on the phone is right here. I should be looking right into that dot. I've been hanging around this town way too long.